Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna 'alan nabiy ya ayyuhallazina amanu sallu 'alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina maulana Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina maulana wa barik wa sallim alayhi. We must thank the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has brought us together, alhamdulillah, to listen to the words that came out from the mouth of my beloved Habib Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. I have in front of me mishkaat masabeeh. The bab we are reciting now is kitab imaan. And there is another hadith where Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam explains about our imaan, what we should believe in and how we should act upon those actions which my Nabi Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam had showed us. My brother Islam, this hadith, وَأَنْ أَبِي هُرَيْرَةَ قَالَ أَعْطَى إعرابي النبي صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. My brother Islam, this hadith is riwayat by a very great sahabi whose name is Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu was that kind of sahabi, was a miskeen. Miskeen meaning a sahabi who didn't know where his next meal going to come from. And alhamdulillah, this sahabi of Nabi Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam was so close to Nabi alayhi salatu wa sallam that whenever Nabi alayhi salatu wa sallam looked at him, he had cats inside his sleeves, on top of him. And from that day, my Nabi alayhi salatu wa sallam called him Abu Huraira, the father of cats. That was a name, the laqab that was given to him by my Nabi Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu was that sahabi who, whenever he heard something from Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he should go from one ear, come out to the other ears. He should forget it. So one day he turned to Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam when my Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam asked him, "Hey, Abu Huraira, ask what you want to ask. Today, ask whatever you want to ask." And Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala said, "Ya Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, every time I hear something from your mouth, it goes in one ear, come out to the other ears. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that whatever I hear from your mouth, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it must go in my heart and stay in my heart. Go in my ears and stay in my heart." And the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is evident to the fact that no matter which kitab you look at, if you look at a kitab of hadith, whether it's mishkaat masabeeh, whether it's Bukhari Sharif, whether it's Muslim Sharif, Tirmidhi Sharif, Abu Dawud Sharif, whichever hadith kitab you look at, most of the hadiths that were recorded, those hadiths were recorded from Hazrat Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala. So which means he is one of those sahabis of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam who never ever forgotten any word that came out from the mouth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So from there also you can see that this hadith we're going to embark on is for sure an authentic hadith, and these are actually the words of Nabi Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. So he says, Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala qala ata Rasulullah ata Arabi Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, an Arabi means like how we say a farmer. But in those days now, a man from the desert. So a man from the desert came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فقال, and he said, dullani ala amli iza a'maltuhu dakhaltu jannah. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, give us some hidayat. Give me hidayat on that kind of practice that if I do it, amaltuhu, if I do it, dakhaltu jannah, I will enter Jannatul Firdaus. Qala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ta'budullah, make ibadat of Allah, wala tushrik bihi shay'an, and do not associate any partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while you're making ibadat to Allah. Wa tuqimus salah, and to read establish salah maktubatun, that salah which is faraiz, must read your first namaz. To add this zakat mafrudatun, and to give out your zakat which is first. Wa tasumu Ramadan, and to keep your fast in the month of Ramadan." Qala wallazi nafsi biyadihi, and that Arabi he says, "Wallazi nafsi biyadihi, I take qasam on whose hand my soul is, yani on Allah. La uzida ala, I will not increase any one of those things that you said. Ala haza shay'an wala ankusu minhu, and I will not do anything less than that. Falamma wallah, and then Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, it is stated that when this man, falamma wallah, when he woke up and he turned, qala an-nabiyyu sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, my Nabi Muhayyuddeen Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam said to the Sahaba, man sarrahu ay yanzuru ila rajulun min ahli al-jannah, does any one of you want to see a person who is entered and will enter Jannatul Firdaus? Min ahli al-jannah, falyanzur ila haza, then look at this man. For sure, he is the one that will enter Jannatul Firdaus. Muttafaqun alayhi hadith. This hadith is recorded in Bukhari Sharif. Hadith is recorded in Muslim Sharif as well. So there's absolutely no doubt in the hadith. The authenticity of this hadith is absolute. So there's no doubt, absolutely nothing. It is riwayat by Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala, and it is also recorded in Bukhari Sharif and Muslim Sharif. So there's absolutely no doubt. So my brother Islam, if you look at this hadith itself, it tells you a few things. Number one, that the Arabi that came to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, number one, either he came from a group of people who sent him to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, because all of them couldn't reach Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So they used to send one person to go to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam and ask him a few questions, and whatever answers he got, he took it back to them. So in this hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him that if you want to enter Jannatul Firdaus, number one, you mustn't associate partners with Allah, and you must make ibadah to Allah only for the sake of Allah itself and towards Allah only. Number one, وَتُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ, to read your salah maktubatun, and you to read your farz namaz, right? And then also he said to give out your zakat, which is farz, to keep a roza in the month of Ramadan. And also he says, now for these actions that you see here, now these are actions where it is only talking about your farz namaz, right? Your farz namaz, your zakat, your fasting in the month of Ramadan, and your ibadat only to Allah, and do not associate anyone to Allah. There is nothing extra in it and nothing less than it. So it's either he is saying that whatever I heard from you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I will take it back to the people that sent me, and I will say to them whatever you said to me, and I won't say anything more or I won't say anything less. Number one. Number two, it is either here it is also saying that whatever he heard from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam doesn't mean that he's only going to do the farz, which is like for example your Fajr namaz is 2 rakats. Now it doesn't mean you're only going to read your 2 rakats or your 4 rakats and only going to give zakat and only going to keep his roza in the month of Ramadan. It doesn't mean that. It also means that all the other actions, which is like for example your Eid al-Fitr, your Eid al-Adha salah, those salah is also witr salah as well. Although it is not mentioned here, number one, either it is still the early stages of Islam where Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam, the hukum of those salah didn't come as yet. Number one, that is the reason why Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not mention it. And number two is whatever he heard from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's saying that I won't say anything more or won't say anything less. For that reason, for the sake of tabligh. Number two, right? And then if you look at this hadith, all those things that Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam said, okay, fine. Then you see that Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam said, if you want to see, Man sarrahu ay yanzuru ila rajulin min ahli al-jannah, if you want to see a person who is entering Jannah. So which means that Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam now is giving hukum for those people to go and see the good people, those people that are pious, go and visit them. Go and see these people, because these people are destined to go into Jannatul Firdaus. Just by looking at them, you will get sawab for that. Number one. And number two, from this hadith also you can see very evidently, like people say that my Nabi Muhayyuddeen Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam did not have knowledge behind the wall. But here Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam clearly showing you that if you want to see a person from Jannah, فَلْيَنْزُرْ إِلَىٰ هَذَا, then look at this person here. So which means Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam even knew at that time, just by looking at him, whether he made amal or not, he's still going to make the amal. Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam saw it beforehand, that he is going to do it, and for sure he is going to be a person who is going to enter Jannatul Firdaus. So Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam even knew whether the person is going to go into Jannatul Firdaus or the person is going to go into Jahannam. So my brother Islam, I ask all those that say that Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam did not have knowledge behind the wall. It is stated first, if you don't know anything, you must ask. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. If you don't know something, you must ask. And here it is showing very clearly, and I'm reading the exact words that came out from the mouth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it is evident that my Nabi Muhayyuddeen Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam had the knowledge behind the wall. Where? Knowledge behind the wall. He even knew what was the last state of a person, whether a person person is going to go into Jannah, whether he's going to go into Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the hidayah to understand the Hadith of Nabi Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam and make us better Muslims in the future. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ جزاكم الله خير. آمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. يا رسول الله انظر حالنا، يا حبيب الله اسمع قالنا، إننا في بحر غم مغرق خذ يدي سهل لنا أشكالنا. اللهم تقبل هذه درس حديث في مشكات المسابيح في ghulestaana muhayyuddeen ببركة سيدنا الدين شاه صاحب دام بركاتهم العالية. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا وبارك وسلم. جزاكم الله.